Hello everyone. This is the reflection for Wednesday the 25th of March. A warm welcome to anyone watching. For the past year and a half, we have been able to access an app on the iPad so that we can see when our grandson is awarded any points in class in school and what they're for. We can access photos of the children working in school and outside caring for the environment. Over the school year, you can see the changes in the children and how they are progressing. It's a great way to keep parents, grandparents and carers abreast of what is happening in school. One of the posts which appeared on the site recently was the fact that the children could wear oddly matched socks to school on Friday the 20th of March to celebrate Down Syndrome Day, which was Saturday the 21st of March. World Down Syndrome Day is marked each year on March the 21st, and it began in 2007. The 21st day of March, the third month of the year, was selected to signify the uniqueness of the triplication of the 21st chromosome, which causes Down syndrome. The General Assembly of the United Nations decided to observe this day every year and have done so since 2012. I had not realised or heard of this World Sundown Day before, and that the day was celebrated worldwide. It doesn't seem to be very widely known, at least I had not heard anyone else mention it. It was great going to school and seeing pupils and staff wearing oddly matched socks, and I felt obliged to do the same, much to my grandson's delight. Seemingly, the shape of a sock is similar to the shape of a chromosome, and so a common activity is wearing colourful, mismatched socks to show support for people with Down syndrome. Seemingly, the fact is that one child in 1,000 in Britain can be born with Down syndrome. John Langdon Brown, an English physician, first described and characterised Down syndrome as a distinct condition in 1866. While he identified the physical features, it was French paediatrician and geneticist Jérôme Lejeune, along with colleagues Marthe Gauthier and Raymond Turpin, who discovered the cause in 1959, identifying it as a chromosomal anomaly. So, what is World Down Syndrome Day? It's a day worldwide when Down syndrome is celebrated. The theme for World Down Syndrome Day on March the 21st, 2026 was Together Against Loneliness. This theme focused on addressing the high risk of isolation faced by people with Down syndrome by promoting real, meaningful inclusion in communities, schools and workplaces. On World Down Syndrome Day, landmarks across the globe are lit in a dazzling display of blue and yellow lights, a symbol of solidarity for the Down syndrome community. This was the theme supporters were asked to talk about on and around World Syndrome Day, and this year called upon everyone around the world to stand together against loneliness. Of course, it's not only people with Down syndrome who can feel lonely. Everyone can feel lonely sometimes and can feel isolated. But for many people with Down syndrome and other disabilities, loneliness is a more common and painful experience. Their families can feel lonely too and feel cut off from support. And loneliness can feel like different things. If you don't have a group of friends or a community to belong to, or you don't have a close person to share your feelings with, loneliness is or can become a serious problem. Loneliness is not just a sad feeling. It is bad for our health and happiness. It can make people feel anxious or depressed, and it can also harm you physically. We don't become lonely as a choice. For some, it can be a momentary thing, or for others, a long-lasting feeling. It can happen if we don't have support to build and maintain connections with other people. We can be in the same room as others but still feel lonely. We see everyone chatting to their friends, but if on our own, it's difficult to start up a conversation with others, and we can feel isolated and lonely. Being present is not the same as being included. People can feel lonely even when surrounded by others if they are not truly connected. Loneliness is also caused by stigma and discrimination. Loneliness happens when people are left out of schools, workplaces, and community life. In conversation with others at church on Sunday, loneliness was mentioned, and a person they knew mentioned Saturdays were lonely because during the week there were always people to meet or activities to do, which stopped at the weekend, and Saturday in particular. Various studies have found that 39% of people with intellectual disabilities often feel lonely, compared with 14% of people without disabilities. Another study reported that people with an intellectual disability were 7 times more likely to be lonely than the general public. And perhaps this poem describes how some people feel. I'm sitting here watching television. It's on all day. I have nowhere else to go or see. I hear voices and footsteps outside. I'm in here, I want to shout. Please knock on my door, just for a minute to say hello. But nobody calls. Another day on my own. If you're feeling lonely, there are many excellent activities you could take part in. Our church, East Old and Inverarity, has something happening most days for all ages, from mums and babies to the older generation, widows and widowers and single people. Or drop in for a cup of tea on a Thursday morning, or join us for a lunch on Wednesday. Or come in and have a chat with our administrator, Alison. These are just a few things happening every week in our church, but I know the other churches in town are also welcoming for all. But it can be hard to go somewhere new on your own. It takes courage to go somewhere on your own. But Psalm 23 says, "Even though I walk through the darkest valley, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me." Bye for now. See you next time. And remember, the clocks change on Saturday.